Okay, hello all. I am going to go through the trading process that happened today on 0DTE SPX. So I watched the opening and we had this kind of big bearish candle at first that created the orb, and so I watched the breakout to the downside here out of the orb. This looked like a retest and then a push down. This wasn't the greatest reaction candle, but it was good enough for me to enter. So I entered a bearish broken winged butterfly, which would have been like this part here. So actually it would have, just to show on Optionsmith, it would have looked like this, but it had a much bigger runoff profit. So I entered that bearish broken wing butterfly, and we got tested pretty hard up here. They had us in the first half. I'm not going to lie. It was. I think if it would have gotten up here, we would have gotten stopped out. But then it ended up going back down and looking good. And it went down so far in the early part of the day that when it made a strong move back toward the upside down here, I had enough distance between where I had entered the bearish broken wing butterfly that I decided to put on a bullish broken wing butterfly and create what some people call the Batman. So it looks like this. So we were down here in price at this point, and we end up with this kind of Batman looking risk profile, which puts us in a decent spot because I just had 120 risk on either side because of the overlapping runoffs from the two broken wing butterflies. So at that point, it was it was a situation where I wanted it to stay in this area ideally, but I was okay with taking the 120 loss on either side if it went really far one way or the other. So it ended up going down here. This was kind of looking like I could end up taking a small loss for the day, but then it turned around and went back up. And so here toward, I think it was around 1 hour left in trading, it was hanging around here, and I decided I was just going to kind of wait, and if it started to break one way or the other, I was going to start taking off the trade, just because then I could lock in a profit. And on Fridays, it's anytime I can just lock in a profit and call it a day, I'm going to go for it. I try not to get too aggressive on a Friday just because taking a significant loss on a Friday is kind of detrimental. It's psychology is really important with the trading, and when you end the week with a loss that can bother you, it's hard to know that you just have 2 days then where you can't put on more trades and start to kind of bury that loss in the overall probabilities. You just have to wait. So it started going down a little bit here, and then on this push up, I ended up then taking off the bearish broken wing butterfly just because it was sitting there at about $100 profit, and if it started going any further up, that would start losing. So I kind of had the choice at that point to just take them both off at that time, and I would have gotten probably about 200 profit just by taking them both off. But because at that point with it pushing up, it was not really threatening the bullish broken wing butterfly at all, and it wasn't going to really affect me unless it started going back down. And we were late enough in the day where if it did actually start going back down at this point, I would have actually profited more from that because it would have started to get close to this spot here. So if I have present curve, yeah, so it would have, it was beneficial. There was no real good reason to take the bullish one off because all the risk for that is down here and it was pushing up this way. At this point, I'm just kind of waiting on that one. So I've just got this trade on right now, this bullish broken wing butterfly. We're sitting here, we're probably just going to take the runoff profit, which at expiration will be $100. I've already got 110 locked in from the other broken wing butterfly. I'm leaving it on, I guess, just in case we can get back in here and get a little bit more out of it. But I have to be really cautious because in order for it to actually get down to the full profit tent, it would have to, which is right here, 6835. I mean, it would have to get to here within the next like 10 minutes. And that would be kind of a falling knife that I would be trying to catch before it got right here, which is like the break even. So I'm actually probably just going to take this off and call it a day because you know, it's the odds of it getting here. If it's moving that fast, it's kind of a dangerous high gamma risk play anyway. Like I said before, if it's kind of close and just trickling down, I'll leave it and wait. But if we get like a last minute, like quick move down, it could actually be risky, and I could start getting into this risk, and I don't want to do that. So so yeah, I'm just going to take this off. I'll just close the selected. I guess I'm in no hurry, so I can look at the market order. Well, it would just be .1. Yeah, maybe I'll just wait a little bit, but I'm going to close it off soon. So anyhow, that's how today went. I hope all of you had a good week. I ended up being somewhat profitable for the week. Not nearly as good as last week, though. I had a couple of days in there that were losers, and I didn't have any really big in the profit tent finishers like I did last week. So it was just kind of a slightly profitable week, but not one of the better ones. So.